Well, hello everyone. And welcome to my shop. All right, and welcome back to my shop. Today we're going to get back on this GMC. Okay, and we're going to get back on addressing that interior and seeing what we can get done with it. So stay tuned as we tackle the interior of this 49 GMC 100. Well, unfortunately, I got a mess I got to clean up first. We've had 70-degree weather the last 3 days, and 2 of them days no rain. It's still too muddy to mow my lower grounds, but I've been having to break out this most hated of machines, and that's this weed eater, this weed trimmer. I really dislike these machines, but they've got a job, and unfortunately they do stuff that I can't get to while sitting on my butt on my wheel horses to do. So they got a job, but the tap heads that advances the strings out of these things, and all these units here are shot. So I'm actually going to have to invest some money in them. I tried to get it to work, but hey, you know, I'd have to manually advance the string to make it work. So anyway, I got to get all this, clean this up, and get this bench back ready into truck work. You know, it's kind of turned into yard work here. You know, the missus even had me trimming rose bushes. So anyway, let's get some cleaning done. Anyway. I haven't got my Kubota back yet either. I still got my son-in-law's here. I got his muffler fixed, but you can't move. This thing does not roll. I don't know how. You got to just start it to get it to go. So let's get him over there. Alright, we got him out of the way. Now let's get to see what we can do with this GMC. Alright, where I left off at was fitting these the seats. I still got some more I want to do. And I'm thinking about taking this door off, except for I really don't have a place to store it. But it would sure make it nice, easier to do some work around here. So I think I may just take the door off. Alright, we got to get these handles off and then take this panel off. Alright. Alright. There's a whole lot to holding them on. There we go. Back them off a little bit more. Alright. See if we can save some wrist power and use the drill here. I've ordered new screws, and that's stripped out. He looks stripped out. Now we're going to remove these 3 bolts, and there's 3 down there. All right. All right, that's 3 out of the bottom. All right, the door should be ready to come off. Should have rolled that window down. All right, I'm gonna spray some cleaner in there, see if I can't get it to break loose a little easier. All right, I've had to break it loose, so I've squirted some PB blaster on it, let it soak a little bit. I believe it's ready to come off now. There we go. That door got mighty used to being on there, who knows how long. Look at that. The bottom's worse than the top, which is kind of unusual. But anyway, now I need to find a place to stow this because I got to do door work to it anyway. We'll lead him up to there for now. Oh, I got a lot more room now. Better room to work on the thing. Look at all that room. Good deal. I do have hinge repair kits, and hopefully they're repairable. If they're not, then, well, I could use the kits on the Chevy over there and just replace these, but they're mighty proud of these. That's not as bad as I thought, but look at this one. Clean shot. So anyway, that's where we're at there. All right, curiosity's got the best of me. I'm taking them hinges off. I want to see if they're rebuildable. All right. See, that should lock. So that's why I ordered those 2 spring clips. They just, it's missing a bolt here, so we'll have to figure out where the captured nut is on that one. And he's just not coming out. That may be some bad news there. Well, he's acting like he's going to strip. It's not good. Well, there's one of them coming out. I believe 1 out of 3. That's not good. All right. Well, we're going to have to soak them well, that one bottom one is stripped. All right, he's going to come. He's going to come. All right. Let's see. All right. Okay. I wasn't counting on the spring pin in there. I'll show a better close-up of it, but this pin's got to come out. I've got to drill this out. There's 2 new bushings that comes in, and then the new pin goes in, and it's the same dimension as that. So anyway, and then there's 2 clips, spring clips, and that's what holds this in the open, partially open, and closed position. The bottom doesn't have it. May have put some heat to it. Soak him a little bit. That's not good. I hate to have to try to get them out without the socket fitting right. Alright, the impact got in the 6-point socket, got that bottom one out, now the top one out. Now we got that bottom one, so we'll work on him. Alright, finally we got the problem child one out. So now we'll get that. I'll put the top one in to hold the flange. So I'll cut it off. Okay. That should have him. And that is one. Alright, the pin's busted. Okay, that's what's wrong with him. Oh, that's wallowed out bad. I don't know if this is fixable or not. I guess we'll see. All right, this lower hinge may be not fixable. You can see how the pin's busted on it, but look here. I don't know, let me get it up close. You can see how the hole's wallowed out. Now that may be wallowed out too much. Now I've heard of people welding and then re-drilling. That may be an option because one of these hinges, well, you got to buy a whole kit. It's close to like $200. So. Yep, so the pin busted. So that's why this was so bad. Anyway. The other side's not as bad, and the Chevy's not as bad. So that was my worst door. Alright, I want to show you the door card. Now, they're normally supposed to be a cardboard type material. Well, look here. Looks like it's some kind of wall, you know, linoleum type wall material that they've cut. It's a good 1/4 inch thick. It's stout, it doesn't look too bad, so I'm probably just going to put a little light sand to it and repaint it. So anyway, just goes to show you, you never know what you're going to run into until you take something apart. Alright, this is 1.5 inch angle iron. And it's about 3/16 maybe. I can look it up more. But my plan of attack is to build square stock here along the front edge. See, that'll have to come out. And I'm going to box it here at the end. So this will go actually up above. And I'll bolt it to the plywood. And it'll run the length of this, of both front of the seats. And then I'll run a short piece here to here. So the actual plywood will bolt to the front of the angle iron and then back here in the back. And that'll be, you know, seats, you know, they only have 4 bolts holding them anyway, so that should be able to secure it properly. I may have to kick it out a little bit more. All right, show you show you something here. Okay, you can see here how this bracket doesn't actually do a 90. It's got it angles to the front here. I may cut these two so I can get more of a 90 bend and then re-weld it. I don't know. We'll just see how it all lines up. And so anyway, but the back's no problem. These fronts. Now these braces are welded to that frame there. Now, you know, I've kind of thought about cutting them, reversing them, and bolting them back here to the back. You know, cutting and making it flat. And I've not totally talked myself out of doing that yet, but I still wanted to put this angle iron there, and that's going to secure the front. So anyway, it's kind of where we're at on the seats, and we're just moving on. I'll probably do a few more measurements, and they're going to have to come out. All right, let's remove these seats once more again. Somebody step on the duck? Oh, that plywood makes it so much easier. Don't make it any lighter though. There we go. All right, to reiterate, to give a quick overview, I'm going to make some brackets out of this 1.5" angle iron, bolt it or weld it to the pedestal. I'll probably bolt it because I want it to be easily undone if I have to. And this is going to be a securing point for the plywood, and I'm going to bolt the seats permanently to the plywood and then take the whole assembly and put it in. Now, if this ever has to be serviced in the future, like removing the gas tank, which that's a brand new tank, there's brand new hoses on the tank, but if it ever has to get to that point, it won't be that hard to unbolt the whole piece of plywood, just lift the whole assembly out. So that's the plan. And we'll go on from there. All right, I've decided to try my mocking up first with the passenger side. And let's see here, you can see the angle iron right there. And I've already got it bolted to the seat pedestal. And I can get to it with the seats mounted to the plywood and the whole assembly put in, as I'm saying. But I'm starting to lean toward another way too. I'll know more when I do the driver's side. But you can see here the angle iron, it's bolted to the pedestal. And then the two front mounts there will go all the way through. Now, I've got enough gap, if you look right here, there's enough gap to where I can go with a short bolt, like a 5/16 or larger, or even a 3/8, maybe 1 inch long with a couple of flat washers and a lot washer, and I won't have to go through the pedestal. But then I'm kind of weighing the idea, well, have another tie down point to the pedestal if I was to go ahead and put some kind of a capture nut on the backside, like maybe drill all the way through and weld a nut on the inside like that. So I'm still thinking on that. That may be overkill. I may not need it. I've not got here on the driver's side yet. Just trying to get it lined up, get all, what do you say, get all the ducks in a row. But on this side, I don't know if I can get a light over here. Let's see if it'll stretch. Yeah, he'll stretch. Okay, I've got a piece of angle iron here. He's bolted, and he's going to bolt the back rear seat mount to that piece of angle iron that's bolted to the pedestal. And here's a better shot of how the angle iron is bolted down. You can kind of see the nut there. It's not ran all the way up. It's actually bolted to the lip of the pedestal there. You know, when you think about it, there's only 4 tie down points on this stock seat anyway, so it's not like I'm going worse. You can see that'll go down some more anyway, and he's not even going to go all the way through. He'll bolt, so I can go with a short bolt here, and that same on the driver's side. So anyway, we're moving along. Plenty of room. Close the door. Plenty of gap there. I think it's going to be all right. We'll just ignore that hole right there for now. Kind of disheartening when you think all the work. But anyway, that's the progress we've made so far. We'll see if we can't do something with the driver's seat, or we may get on that tomorrow. So anyway, that's where we're at now. All right, I wanted to show a close-up of these front mounts, and I had ideas of getting them loose and spinning them around and making them flat. But it's an odd setup. Well, I have to get my light. But this rod here, looks like this rod goes all the way through, and then it must have been heated. And it was this ring, there's a ring there that was drove down, and once it cooled, it cinched it up, and it looks like a spot weld right there, kind of midway. So I kind of tapped on this rod thinking if I could just loosen it a hair, maybe I could spin this. No way. So it was going to be more work than I wanted to put into it, so I decided to adapt with the angle iron on the front edge. And of course, that's the same way now. The rears are flat. Anyway, there's your seat belt. I always wondered how that worked, but apparently it's a 2-wire connection. So when you put the metal seat belt clip male end here into the female, that just shorts the 2 pins together. So anyway, but I don't know. It's amazing how, though, that there must be another sensor somewhere, or maybe this didn't have it, that would, if you had weight on the seat, it would know to hit the seatbelt alarm, because if there's no weight on the seat, the seatbelt alarm doesn't go off. So I don't know. Just thinking out loud. Well, all right, folks. Looks like I've come to a good stopping point for the day. I've got the passenger seat ready. I could actually bolt it in now, but of course I can't, because I've got to get the driver's side situated too. But it's good as far as my mock-up. It's good in there, and I can get to all the bolts, so that's a good thing. So anyway, pull the door off. The hinges are bad. I hope I don't have to replace that that bottom hinge, but we'll see. I've got a captured bolt busted here and busted out, so I'm going to have to come up with a way of putting the captured nut in there for that. And I think I'm going to put some captured nuts in this, so to make the swap of this board better too. And of course we've got the driver's side here. So anyway, we're still moving along. I know a lot of you all are in areas, this is with that COVID-19 deal. I heard on the news that we're shut down further now, that Easter probably was too optimistic a goal, and that they're going to continue to shut down past it. I know some places like here where I live, we haven't been hit as hard as, or nowhere near as hard as some of these larger cities. And those of you all in those larger cities, I just hope you're practicing that good safe distance, social distancing, or whatever they call it. We're not going out much. Most all the restaurants around here are closed. Just about everything that's not a grocery store or related is closed. Auto parts stores are open. But it's funny, in some cases, you can't go in. You pay online, and they set your stuff out, and you pull up to get it. So, it's better to be safe than sorry, It looks like it's not, this COVID-19 now, it's not It's not discriminating on age or sex. I've heard of a 30-year-old healthy young man dying from it. I've heard of babies. I've heard of older people. So just be careful, folks, and you know, we'll get through it. I believe we got good leadership, and I've got a good professional advice being given to our leadership. It's putting us out now, and I know it's hurting a lot of our businesses too. But just hang in there, and we'll get through this, and we'll get back to what we do, and that's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe. We'll see you around.